The high-profile murder of Samantha Dean is still a mystery. This young pregnant woman worked with the crime victims for the Kyle Police Department. In February, a deputy discovered her body in a shopping center parking lot. To determine the father, they sent her unborn child for a DNA sample north to a Fort Worth lab known worldwide for DNA analysis. But we discovered the Health Science Center at the University of North Texas does so much more to help families get answers. It's home to a national database specializing in missing persons.
And as KXAN investigator Kevin Schwaller found, it could help Austin police with dozens of cases left unsolved for years.
Nothing you can do until you get some closure. I mean, that's the hardest part of not knowing.
Robert and Iona Washington are preparing to mark an anniversary. 3 years since their son, 36-year-old Adrian Washington, disappeared. Adrian is also a father.
Family celebrates his birthday and the anniversary that he's been missing, and we're going to celebrate it till we find him. I'm not going to stop. Only way I'll stop is I'm gone.
Investigators say Adrian and his vehicle were last seen in the Austin area in May of 2012. Police suspect foul play.
I pray every day, every hour, every minute, and I say, Lord, have mercy every time I breathe.
Adrian's face is one in thousands of cases listed in the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, or NamUs, essentially a database. The system includes 30 unsolved cases in Austin.
We look for cases.
You can search through the faces online, but the University of North Texas Health Science Center acts as the physical home for NamUs.
We work with families that have literally been searching for decades.
BJ Spalmer works as a director of training for NamUs. She says families can search for loved ones for years and find results here in moments. 21-year-old Paula Davis from Kansas City, Missouri, missing for more than 20 years. Until her sister logged on to NamUs.
And in 2 or 3 searches, halfway down the list, she clicked on a case, it came up, and she said she immediately knew that that unidentified decedent was Paula.
The sister found a description of a body with tattoos that matched Paula. That's the other side of the system. NamUs also hosts information about unidentified remains. Police, medical examiners, and families can all search for clues here. Adrian's entry has his picture, a description of scars, and a synopsis of his case saying that he left his home to run an errand and never returned. It also shows that a DNA sample is on record. Sometimes the answers families find are not the answers they hoped to hear. Behind this glass, members of the UNT Health Science Center sand, saw, and crush bones.
And then once we have it into a powder form, we can extract the DNA from that.
Technical leader of the Missing Persons Unit, Dixie Peters, searches for the crucial piece of life, which can also be the key to identification after death. These are the remains of Jane and John Does, but at one time, they may have looked like one of the pictures in NamUs.
You wonder, who was this person? What were they doing? How did they end up here?
And it's those questions from cases in Central Texas that first got us looking into the center in Fort Worth, like when the labs helped investigators after they discovered the body of a child here off Felter Lane in southeast Austin.
We have every reason to believe that the remains of that child are those of little Colton Turner.
Investigators worked with the UNT Health Science Center to identify 2-year-old Colton. His mother, Megan Work, and boyfriend, Michael Turner, are in jail and charged in connection with his death.
We can answer questions that the families want to know what happened to their loved one. Unfortunately, if we're involved, it's most often because they're deceased.
Still, sometimes even that answer is better than no answer.
It's just that not knowing. Families wake up every day for tens of 20, 30 years not knowing where their loved one has gone to. And hopefully we can help them with that information.
We do have him making some purchases at a cleaners. Also, we have some activity on some of the local roadways, and then he vanishes.
Austin Police Detective J.J. Schmidt says police are in close contact with Adrian's family. They've interviewed witnesses and associates. Now it may be the public who helps solve this mystery.
But that's what also motivates us to keep going and try to find new tools like NamUs or other resources to try to put those dots together and make a case that we can either bring the loved one home or give them some closure.
I want him back. I want all the things we used to play. We used to do everything together. He was a mama's baby.
If anyone know anything, you know, just reveal it. They don't have to give a name or anything. I mean, anonymous call would help. I don't want to know who did. I just want the body.
Closure. Robert says he simply wants to bury his son. Kevin Schwaller, KXAN, investigates.
And to give you an idea of the scale of NamUs, the database went live in 2007 and has since had 34,000 cases. 22,000 of those were missing person cases. The other 12,000 were unidentified bodies. Of those, the system directly helped resolve more than 1,400 of them. As for the Samantha Dean case we mentioned at the top of our report, the Bastrop County Sheriff's Office is not commenting on that investigation right now. Investigators have also not released information about what the Fort Worth lab found when it comes to who the father of Dean's child might be.
In his digging, Kevin discovered 30 unsolved cases in Austin right now. If you want to take a look for yourself, we have created a special case file feature online for you to explore the details. We also show you how you can use the NamUs system for yourself and maybe even put those detective skills to good use. And remember, if you have something you want us to investigate, email us at report@kxan.com.